Welcome back to the breakdown. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Pixel 6 Pro. Yes, I got the Pixel 6 Pro right here in my hand. I paid for this myself. I did not get the Google review unit. I dropped my own money to pay for the Pixel 6 Pro, and we're going to be reviewing it. We're going to be talking about it in a few ways. Number one, the average user. What's my experience when I open this up? How easy is it to set up? And is it worth the upgrade? Now, I've been a Pixel 4 XL owner for a long time. I skipped the Pixel 5 because it did not have the XL size and I really wanted it. Now, there's a few differences between the Pixel 4 and the Pixel 6 Pro, some pluses, some minuses. So we're going to be breaking that all down. Now, I will say this off the bat right away. The Pixel 6 Pro is a better phone in pretty much every regards. It's got a bigger battery, it's got a better camera, it's got a bigger screen, it's got 5G in it. All those things added together make it a much better phone. There's a few things missing, there's a few things added that the Pixel 4 XL didn't have, for example. We're going to be breaking that all down. We're going to talk about my impressions of it as a review, as average user, and about my upgrade experience. First though, if you're new here, could you help us grow this new channel? Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. Alright, so let's take a look at this. So I got my Pixel 4 XL and my Pixel 6 Pro. Now the Pixel 6 Pro is a tiny bit bigger. One of the big things you notice is the corners aren't nearly as rounded. It's much more of a square-ish phone, and it's got a rounded screen. The screen takes up pretty much the whole home screen there, which is a pretty nice feature. You're really getting the maximum usage of it. You don't have a huge bezel on it. Now I know iPhone owners will say, well, the bezels are smaller on the iPhones. Honestly, I just can't see a big difference when you look at it and you use it. I think this is excellent. Where I really noticed the big difference between the Pixel 4 XL and the Pixel 6 Pro is how fast it is. It is super quick, super responsive, and it does a really good job just snapping apps up and controlling what you do with it. If you want a phone that's a little bit faster, this is it. It's definitely going to give you a better experience. More storage options in here. You can get a much bigger internal memory, which is really nice. I do a lot of videos, I do a lot of phones. I got 2 kids now, but also for work, I shoot some videos on my phone with it. The camera is significantly better. Now, I could talk about that forever. There are some really good YouTube videos out there from people who got their hands on an early review unit, were able to put it head to head, side by side to the Samsung, to the iPhone Max, and to the Pixel 6. Overall, on the Pixel 6 Pro, I would say the camera is extremely comparable to the iPhone 13 Max and to the Samsung. Now, here's the thing. I can already see people messaging, well, the iPhone has this better, the Samsung has this better. I think everybody has a little bit better overall experience on something. Big picture, 4x physical zoom, great digital zoom, all that. I think the Pixel 6 for most people is excellent. Great for taking pictures of your kids, great for taking pictures of scenery, very good for taking videos, especially in low light. Videos overall seem to be very good. If you really want to see more, Google one of those side-by-side comparison videos or YouTube search it. There are so many people who had it before I did and had an opportunity to really dive into it. What I'm going to say overall for me as an average person testing out this camera for shooting some videos, taking some pictures of my kids, it does a very good job at it, and it definitely is a better picture quality than the Pixel 4 XL. So keep that in mind. One of the big downsides for this phone compared to the Pixel 4 XL is the fact that it doesn't have face unlock. Now, it does return the ability to have a fingerprint reader. Yes, under the screen fingerprint reader, you just tap on the little icon that appears when you have a locked screen, and it unlocks your phone. I absolutely love this. Now, I've never been a very big fan of Face ID. You've probably seen people in public kind of do this kind of thing, especially if you have a hat on, sunglasses, and a face mask. I don't care what updates they did on the iPhone or on the Pixel to try to work with a face mask. I still found myself having to kind of hold it just right. My biggest annoyance is if I was buying something, I wanted to use the face unlock to confirm my Google payment. At night in bed, it always seemed like I had to sit up and turn the brightness up on my phone. The ability to just have a fingerprint reader is very nice. I do still wish, like the Pixel 3, the Pixel 5, the reader was on the back, just a little icon here to touch it and unlock it. That still is the best place. The under the screen fingerprint reader is cool. And it works well. You just kind of put your finger right there in the middle of the screen and you've now unlocked your phone. You hold it there just for a second. On the back of the phone just seemed to work better. I didn't have to look at it to make sure I was putting my finger in the right spot. You have that little feel, the little bezel around it to touch it and know you were putting your finger in the right spot to unlock your phone. So Google, rear fingerprint reader is better. But a fingerprint reader, in my opinion, is better than the Face ID. I am kind of shocked that they didn't include Face ID as the option in it. Having both the option for a fingerprint reader and the Face Unlock. I know Google doesn't call it Face ID. I apologize. That would have been really nice. The other thing is this is definitely a phone you want a case. Let's be honest. All phones you need a case for. This one is definitely a little bit slippery. It is with a rounded edge. It's a kind of a glass edge all the way around. That glass edge does make the phone a little slippery, and I can definitely see why people who had reviewed it early reported dropping them and breaking the screen. Now it is a tough glass, you do have to catch it right, but it is slippery. Get a case, I think you'll be much happier. Where the Pixel 4 XL has kind of a rough metal ring around the edge, which helps protect the screen from cracking, also makes it much easier to grab, doesn't feel as slippery. So keep that in mind. This is definitely not a phone you want to have without a case on. Which brings me to the point. Because you're putting a case on everything, it doesn't really matter what color you get. Because I think most people will just put a case on it and you'll never see the color of the phone really. So keep that in mind. Now a few things. Android 12 is really, really nice on this. I really love it. I do kind of miss one key feature that Google took away. Under the old version of Android, on the power button, a long press would bring up a command center. And there are all your home smart device controls. You could, for example, I had my thermostat there to change the thermostat in my home. Some smart plugs, control lamps and more right there in it where I could just tap it and adjust it. Now it's a 3-press system. You slide down the menu, slide all the ways down, you tap on it, and then you get into it. Just adds a few more taps to it. I kind of wish they would bring back the command center when you long press the power instead of just offering the ability to restart your phone, power it off, do things like that. Overall setup of the phone. So transferring from my Pixel 4 XL to my Pixel 6 was very easy. I just plugged it into my USB-C from my old phone to my new phone, and it copied over the data. Now, before, Google's always done that, but it did it digitally. It would download your messages, your phone contacts, all that stuff. So much faster using the USB-C. It really was nice. It put all my apps exactly in the same spot on my home screen, put back in my wallpapers. Some previous changes I had made in Android 12, for example, tweaking the color of the menus and more, auto-ported over to my new phone. From there, it did use the Google Play Store to re-download apps and go through there. You do have to sign into some apps depending on the app there. Transferring over my emails and all that kind of stuff, super fast. All my text messages, telephone call history, all that stuff transferred. I would say within 15 minutes from starting putting my SIM card in to finishing the setup, my phone was ready to go, and it was still downloading a few of the less essential apps. I noticed something kind of cool. Google downloaded apps in order of my home screen. I didn't realize it right away until I kind of watched it kind of go through. The first page, my primary page on my Google home screen, all the apps I had there downloaded first, then the second page, then the third page, which meant the apps I used most often were the first ones to be installed. Google, that was really cool. Little update you snuck in there really made this very nice, because suddenly, yeah, I'm downloading some fitness app or something in the back, maybe my doctor's app or, you know, a travel app I don't use that much, but my Facebook, my Twitter, my YouTube account stuff, my podcast app and more, all in the home screen, first ones to be installed. Really like that. So overall, I like it. Now the Pixel 6 Pro is very, very good. It's definitely worthy of the flagship status that Google is bestowing upon it. The battery life is excellent. Now I understand the reviews that say it's slightly lower overall battery than the iPhone 13 Max. In my experience with testing it, the battery usage in it is easily a full day. Now, I don't have a lot of usage of it to test that, but my experience in using it is I can easily get a full day, and I am a heavy user. I think past the full day doesn't really matter because for most people, you get home, you go to bed, you put it on your charger, you plug it in, whatever you use to charge it, and it charges your Pixel 6 or whatever phone you have. So as long as I can get from when I wake up to when I go to bed with battery power, I am very happy, and the Pixel 6 Pro does it. Now, Google promises that the learning software in it will continue to update, learn how you use your phone, and better manage the power based on your usage. You don't, for example, use the camera a lot, it will power down the camera. If you use the camera a lot, though, it will actually keep it running so it's for quicker usage. Excuse me. So overall, very happy with it. Very pleased with the battery power, with the camera, with the speed. End user, would I upgrade again from Pixel 6, from Pixel 4 to Pixel 6? Yes. Well worth it. I think this is a great update for Pixel owners. Hey everybody, Future Luke here. Just jumping in to add one little thing I forgot to add in the video. And hey, let's grab my Pixel 6 Pro here and do a portrait video to give you an idea what portrait video mode looks like. Now this is stock portrait mode. This isn't with the stabilization on. This is just the normal settings. You can put the stabilization on and a whole lot more with it. And this is being compared from the earlier video to a DSLR, a Canon Rebel DSLR, which is a very good camera. Much better than any, I think, phone out there. So keep that in mind. But I forgot to mention that the Pixel 6 includes a 30-watt charger, which means it's one of the fastest charging phones out there if you have a charger that does 30 watts. The phone does not come with one. You need to buy that separate. And most phone chargers, because even the iPhone doesn't support a 30-watt charger, don't support that. Though Anker and many of them do sell a 30-watt charger, which will dramatically speed up the charging time for your mobile device. So keep that in mind. Just wanted to add that. And let me know what you think of the difference between a Canon and the Pixel 6 here. Now, I'll be honest, that's a very unfair comparison because a Canon Rebel DSLR is one of the best DSLRs for videos out there in the market right now. All right, back to Past Luke. So there you go. There's my review. Very concise again. Definitely worth upgrading. Camera is very good overall. I think, yeah, you're going to find something where it's better. Samsung has 100x zoom. It's probably the best zoom of any phone out there. The Pixel, I think, has better night vision. I know some people are like, oh, the aperture for the color, this or that. I think the night vision is great. The video quality is good. The overall portrait images are very good. I think the iPhone 13 Max has a very good camera. I don't think for the average person, you're really worrying that much. You're not using this to be a professional photographer. What I noticed was when I take pictures of my kids who are very high moving, the quality of the images here are superb. The battery life is very good. The transferring from my old phone to my new phone was very good. And the snappiness, the comparing the opening the app, using things, jumping back and forth to my Pixel 4, very good. And I was happy with my Pixel 4. I never thought, man, it takes forever to open this or do that. My Pixel 6 Pro was that much better that I actually made it noticeable when I went back to the Pixel 4. I was like, wow, okay, yeah, Twitter's opening slower. My YouTube Studio is opening slower. So definitely recommend it. Definitely like it. 2 thumbs up. Definitely recommend upgrading. If you like this review, do me a big favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. We'll be back with another video real soon.